custard and topping them off with Loquats. They should go really well with our vanilla custard. This is going to be easy to make, they're going to taste terrific, and they should be a lot of fun. We're going to start with our vanilla custard. We're going to need 2 cups of cold milk. I'm going to put that in there. I'm heating up my saucepan. 2½ tablespoons of flour. 1 egg. I'm going to put that in there and we're going to whisk it up. Incorporate that. I avoid the use of cornstarch or corn flour, especially with the advent of GMO. This is a very light pastry cream. You can make all your pastry creams with flour rather than corn flour or cornstarch. That's mixed up well. Comes out just as well, if not better. I'm going to add a touch of vanilla, dash of vanilla, and sugar. We're going to add 3 to 4 teaspoons of sugar, depending on your taste. Salt and sugar to your taste. We're also going to add a dash of salt, just to round out the flavor. I'm going to keep stirring. I'm going to stir this over a low to medium flame until it starts to thicken up to the consistency we want. It doesn't take long at all, just a few minutes, so you really don't want to leave this unattended. This again will thicken up more after cooling, which is what we're going to do. We're going to set it aside to cool while we make our pastry. That's why we're making it first. There we go. Kind of has the consistency of a vanilla pudding. You want to lower the heat and let it cook up a little bit. Making your pastry cream with flour lengthens the cooking process just a little bit. You want to make sure that that's thoroughly cooked, so you're not left with a floury paste, but it's far better than being made with cornstarch. You'll know when it's ready by seeing when the whisk starts to leave ripples in it. That's perfect. Okay. And I want it much thicker than that because it will thicken on cooling. So this is perfect. Like I said, as soon as you see the whisk leaves a trail. So I'm going to pour that into a bowl now. And set that aside to cool. Smells fantastic. You can also flavor this with almond if you like. If you're gluten-free, you can make this with almond flour too. And we're going to set that aside to cool and move on to making our pastry cream. By the time we're ready doing that, this should be cool. You want to cover it with wax paper. I prefer wax paper if you're concerned about being green. Every little bit of plastic wrap that you use is a bonus. That you don't use is a bonus. So, like I said, I prefer wax paper. I'm going to cover that with wax paper. Let it cool a few minutes first. I don't want to put it into the fridge hot. Before we start rolling out our pastry, we want to take our tin that we're going to be using. We want an absolute flat bottom on our tart this time. It's going to be a little bit deeper of a tart, so we want to make sure it sits absolutely level on the plate. And to accomplish that, we're going to have to blind bake, which means we're going to have to put the pastry in and then weigh it down. So what I do is I take a piece of aluminum foil, a little bit larger than my tin, and I press it down until it has a shape. I make sure it's snugly in there as if I were actually putting in pastry. And this way, when I'm ready, I can put beans, rice, whatever I use to fill my tarts with. If you have pastry weights, you can use those, that's fine. But I do this. This is easy, simple, and quick. Once we do that, we set that aside. We have that all ready. And we're going to roll out our tart shells. I have my pastry ready. I put the recipe for that. I have another video that I made of that at the bottom of the description. You can find that where the description of the video is. That's attached there. I put the link there for you. So I'm going to take my pastry dough. I'm going to cut it in half. I have my flour already on my wax paper. I work on the wax paper. It protects both my dough and it makes for easier to clean up. So I'm going to pop that out there and roll it out. Make sure you flour your surface well. You can bring that in from the edges. That's ready. It doesn't need to be too thin. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a tart dish, tart mold, and cut out my circles. Just lift that up. At this point, we take our tin, and we place them in there. We want to take our foil, roll in there nicely, take our foil, and set it over our tarts. Be careful not to crush them in the process. We're going to take our beans. You can keep them in something like this. This way, once you're done baking, you can put them back in and save them for next time. This way you don't always have to keep using new beans. So, here we go. We're going to pop these in. At about halfway through, we're going to take out our tarts, pierce the bottoms, and let them continue cooking. These are ready. We're going to pop them in. I have the oven preheating. It's preheated at 350. They're going to pop right in, and we're going to bake them. I'm going to get my second tin ready because I'm going to be making 12 of these. With this recipe, you should get about 12. You can always have the recipe, make half of it, and do the 6. So these are going into the oven. These are ready for us to remove our foil and our beans. So what we can do is just lift the edges up like that. We're going to pop them in and let them finish browning. Our tarts are out of the oven. They're golden brown. We're going to let them sit and cool, and then we're going to fill them. While we're waiting for our tarts to cool, we're going to take our chilled pastry cream, and we're going to take a little bit of powdered sugar and sprinkle it into it. While beating it. Just want to sift that right in there. After you have a little bit sift in there, beat it as if you were scrambling eggs. This is about 3 or 4 tablespoons. You don't want to go overboard. You just want to lightly sweeten it, and it'll also be a little bit of a shine and just a little bit of texture. Mix it up really well in there. Like I said, it gives it a nice gloss and a nice consistency and a nice little shine there. So, and a nice little shine there. Once that's whipped up nicely in there, just set it aside, put it back in the fridge to finish chilling up, and take it out as soon as you're ready to fill your tarts. Coming out really nicely. Tastes really nice too. We can get our loquats ready now. Loquats are really easy to clean. We're just going to need about 1 for every tart. These have been washed already, but I give them a rinse anyway. You just run your knife around the center. They have 3 large seeds in the center. You remove the seeds and pull down on the skin. Comes off very easily. Not hard to do at all. I'm going to finish cleaning these, and then we're going to come back and fill and decorate our tarts. We have everything we need to fill our tarts. We have our pastry cream. We have our fruit glaze. I've attached the recipe to where the description of the video is. You can make this and store it in the fridge. It keeps indefinitely. It's wonderful to have on hand. We have some fresh mint leaves. I keep them in water so they don't dry out on me. We're going to use those as garnish, and we're going to just simply take one of our tarts, fill them, and then we're going to take 2 loquats, well, 1 loquat, half of a loquat, and place it on there like so. We're going to take the other half and just pop that on there as well, like so. I'm going to take a mint leaf, shake off the excess water, and pop that right in there. Pop it on a plate. We're going to add some of our glaze just to get the fruit to glisten a little, and it adds a little bit of extra dimension as far as taste. Just gently with the back of your spoon. You don't want to flood it all out. And there you have it, a lovely, brightly colored tart. The loquats go really well with the custard cream. The fresh mint it's really nice. Those volatile oils that the mint has, just as you're bringing the plate, just adds a lovely aroma to the air. I hope you like them. I hope you give them a try. They're really easy to make, and they're really enjoyable. They're especially fantastic in the spring, summertime. Really any time of the year, but very enjoyable in the spring, summertime. I hope you give them a try. I hope you enjoy them.